Hey everybody, welcome back. This week's practice was all about back bends that we did in class. So I'm going to take a little segment for you and we'll do it together. As always, make sure you're nice and warmed up. So back bends are really good for your spine. They take all the pressure off of the disc, so an excellent way to sort of stretch out and feel really invigorated and energized after the practice. But as always, you have to be really careful, make sure you're warmed up, so do some sun salutations. And what a good idea to do is to just redo this after we're done. So do it once with me and then repeat the practice again and you'll be able to go a lot deeper because you'll be a lot warmer. Okay, so starting at the tops of your mats, as always with your feet hip width apart, inhale your arms up and lengthen, stretch up. Exhale, take a little back bend to start, press into the feet, open your heart, soften the shoulders. And then inhale, come back up, take your hands to your heart and exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift, halfway lengthen, extend. So nice straight back, straight legs, give those hamstrings a little stretch, and then we're going to exhale, we're going to soften the knees, and we're going to take it back to plank and lower down. So from plank, we're going to lower down, dropping your knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. And this time we're going to come all the way down to the belly, uncurl the toes, and we're going to start with a little cobra pose. So walk your hands back. Let's start with the hands lifted. So you're going to lift them about an inch off of the floor, and inhale, draw your shoulder blades together and lift the upper body. So you don't have to go super high up. It's really hard. So you can see I'm only lifting a little. Keep your neck in alignment with the rest of the spine to resist the urge to crank your head up. And just use that upper back. Then lower your hands and come down and rest on one cheek. Take your chin back to center. This time keep your palms down. They're right alongside of the rib cage. Inhale and lift. Keep your elbows bent. Squeeze your elbows into the rib cage. So squeeze the arms into the rib cage. Lift the upper body. Use your back. If you're feeling this in the low back, tuck your tailbone a little bit. That'll help take it out of the low back. We want upper back. And we try to resist the urge to do this. Your shoulders always do this. You want to draw them down and back. So use that upper back. And then come down and switch cheeks. Taking your chin back to center. Curl your toes under. Push yourself through to up dog. So chest comes forward, shoulders drop down and back. Everything off the mat or knees down. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Drop the knees, curl the toes under, and just roll over the tops of the feet. Sink into the heels, stretch it out. Walk your hands back if you got a little wide. Good, and then from here, we're going to lower down to table. So from down dog to table, take your right foot out behind you, keep your toes on the mat, and press the heel down. So stretch out the back of that leg. Lift it up just to your hip height. Don't go too high, keep the heel pressed down, and then we're going to extend the opposite hand. So in this case, your left arm's coming up, your right leg extends. Take a big inhale on your exhale, reach your fingertips and press that heel down. We're going to bend the left knee, reach around with the right, bend the right knee, reach around the left hand, and see if you can grab that ankle. So go really slow, inch your hand down the foot, see if you can get a hold of the ankle and then lift your heart and stretch. So this stretches the shoulders and the hip, get you ready for the back bends. Release that, take it down. We're going to switch sides. So now the left foot comes out. Press the heel down, then take it up just to your hip height. Not too high. If you go too high, it's going to push you forward. Opposite hand comes up, extend, and then bend the knee. Reach around, grab that opposite ankle if you can reach it. If you can't, rest your hand on your low back, palm facing up, and just bend the knee and push that heel up towards the ceiling. You'll get that same type of stretch. If you can reach it, grab the ankle, press the ankle into the hand, stretch your shoulder, open your heart, and then you're stretching the hip and the quads too. And from there, release that. Take your hands down, walk your hands back. We're going to do our first little camel pose, starting out very slowly. So hands to the low back, fingertips pointing down. So supporting the low back, shoulders stay down and back. Take a big inhale and extend. So nice long spine. And then we're going to exhale, slide the hips forward and drop your head and shoulders back. So it should feel like a stretch. It shouldn't be excruciating, but it should feel like a good stretch. Keep breathing, open your heart, soften and relax, and keep trying to work those hips forward. And then pressing into your shins to inhale, come up, and exhale, take the hands back down to the floor. Curl your toes back under, come back up to downward facing dog. Counter pose that out a little bit, sink into the heels. This little forward fold. Inhale, walk your feet up towards your hands. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Bend those knees. Inhale, roll all the way back up. Take your arms up, reach and stretch. Exhale, take a back bend, a little bit deeper this time. Really root down through those feet. Soften the shoulders, open the heart. Inhale, come back to center, hands to the heart. Exhale, take it right back down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, soften the knees, step back to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Uncurl your toes. This time we're going to do locust. We're going to take the hands down by the sides. Palms either face your thighs or you can flip them up, whichever you're more comfortable with. Chin to center. Take a big inhale and lift. Lift your hands and your feet and reach back. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lifting the feet if you can. If that hurts your low back, keep your feet down. Tuck the tailbone a little if you're feeling this too much in the low back. And keep drawing those shoulder blades together. So use that upper back. And lift a little higher for 3, 2, 1. And come down and rest on one cheek. Take your chin back to center, and we're going to do that one more time. Big inhale, lift and reach. Use that upper back. Draw your shoulder blades together. Don't crank your head up again for extra height. Just keep your neck in alignment with the rest of the spine. Lift a little higher for 3. Straighten out those legs. Keep them active and strong. Reach back with the fingers. 2, 1, and rest other cheek. Take your hands back up alongside of the rib cage. Curl your toes under. Press yourself through to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lower your knees back down. Walk your hands back towards your thighs. Come back up. This time, curl your toes under. So we're going to do another version of camel, taking it a little deeper this time. So start with your hands on your hips. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, slide the hips forward while you gently drop the head and shoulders back. And this time, extend your right hand and see if you can reach your right heel with your fingertips. And then the left arm is going to come up. You can keep it on your back if you want, if you're okay. Take it up. So take your gaze up to your left hand and then press your hips forward as you drop your head and shoulders back. Keep breathing. Keep the heart open. Relax your jaw and your forehead. Pressing into the shins again. Inhale, come up. And we're going to switch sides. Right, left hand comes to the left heel. Right arm comes up, reach up. And exhale and back bend. So the hips come forward, head and shoulders drop back. Press into the shins. Inhale, come up. And exhale, take the hands back down to the mat. Take your toes together, knees apart. Take a quick little child's pose to counter pose that back bend. Drop your head, walk your hands up to give those shoulders a stretch. Important to open the shoulders too for all this back bending. They have to be flexible and loose. Walk your hands back, come back to table. Curl the toes under. Come back up to downward facing dog. Sink into the heels, let the head just hang. Inhale, walk your feet up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, roll up, press into the feet. Take the arms up overhead, reach and stretch. Exhale, back bend. So reach up first and then lean back. Go further this time. Find a spot on the ceiling. Maybe you can look back a little further. Soft shoulders, open heart, root down to those feet so you don't feel like you're falling back. Inhale, come up through the legs. Hands to the heart. Exhale, take it all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees. Step back to plank. Elbows in, lower down, chaturanga, or knees, chest, and chin. Come all the way down again, come to your forearms for Sphinx. So forearms, elbows line up under the shoulders, palms facing down, fingers spread. So resist the splaying out of the elbows, okay? Most people, they come up and they do this. You want to bring them in, squeeze them in, pretend you have a block between those forearms, and if you have a block and you want to squeeze it between the forearms. So elbows line up right under the shoulders. A lot of people do this too, so make sure they're right under. Fingers are spread, hips press into the floor, legs are straight, firm, active. Take a big inhale and pretend you're going to pull your mat towards you as you pull your chest or your shoulders. So think of your shoulders as a doorway and your chest is coming through. Big inhale, on your exhale, stretch it through. So think upper back. Now if you start to feel this in your low back, tuck your tailbone a little bit. Inhale, you're going to exhale, arch that upper back, open your heart, draw the shoulders down and back. One more big inhale, on your exhale, take it even further. 3, 2, and 1. Good job, and then relax. Fold your arms, rest your forehead on the forearms. Good, coming back up. Walk your hands back. You're gonna fold your left arm in front, get it really close to you so you're propped up. Roll onto your left hip a little bit and bend your right leg and see if you can grab your right ankle with your hand and then roll back down. So watch the knees gonna try to splay out to the side, so keep those legs parallel and just pull that heel towards your hip. Stretching out the hips and the quads. You'll feel that in your thigh big time. If you feel it in your knee, loosen up or let go. Shouldn't be knee, should be hip, thigh, and shoulder. And then release that side and switch. So get this arm close to you so you're propped up. Grab that ankle, roll back down, pull the heel towards your hip. Good, and then let that go. Bring your hands back out in front. Rest your forehead down again. Good, and then come back up. We're gonna do one more now. We're gonna try you can do that again, that same thing again, or we're gonna do both ankles. So, coming down to your chin, bend your knees and see if you can grab your ankles. You might not be able to reach them both, so just stick with the one we did before, doing one side at a time. So once you get your ankles, your knees are gonna splay out to the side. So walk them back together so they're not splaying. Press your ankles into your hands. Take a nice big inhale and lift. So stretching the shoulders and the legs. Try not to let those knees splay out. For 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Release. Rest on one cheek. Take the chin back to center. We're going to do that one more time. Grab those ankles if you can reach. If not, do the other leg. Take those legs back together. Don't let them splay. Take a big inhale. Press your ankles into your hands. Lift your heart. Stretch the shoulders. Try to go a little higher for 3, 2, 1, and release. And switch cheeks. Rest other side. Walk your hands back up along the side of the rib cage. Curl your toes under. Press yourself through. Inhale, up dog. Drop the knees. Let's take a little child's pose. Counter pose out. So move slowly through it. And then drop your head. Walk your hands back towards your legs slowly. We're going to come back up to kneeling. We're going to do camel one more time, which is essentially bow pose, just in a different position, just kneeling and sit on your belly. So curl your toes under. Hands on the low back again, just like we started the first time. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, slide your hips forward. Drop your head and shoulders back. Reach back with one hand. See if you can take those fingertips to one heel. Slowly take the hand to the other. If you can't reach your heels, you can use a couple blocks. If you have blocks, pause this, grab the blocks, and then rest your hands on the blocks. Take a big inhale, press your hips forward, drop your head and shoulders back. And if you're flexible enough to uncurl your toes, go for that. I can't do that, I can't reach. Open your heart, relax your jaw and your forehead. Keep pressing those hips forward. And then coming up one hand at a time, take one hand to the low back, then the other. Uncurl your toes, come to table. Let your spine neutralize a minute, so just stay in a neutral flat back. Inhale, do a little baby arch. Exhale and round, little one to start. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good, one more now. You can do an inhale and a big arch, and an exhale and round. Come back to a neutral spine and a flat back, toes together. Wiggle your knees apart. One more little child's pose. Stretch it out, or you can fold the forearms this time and rest your forehead on your forearms. And then slowly come back up. Great job. So you can see how energizing backbends are, even though we're not moving around a lot. I don't know about you, but I totally worked up a sweat. You start to it really energizes you and really opens up the spine, stretches out the shoulders and the quads and the hips, really good for your back. So try that again and you'll feel a lot more flexible. The more you do it, the more flexible your back will feel, the better it will feel. And I will see you next week. Thanks. Subscribe if you like this video. Namaste. Have a good night.